The Norwood Police announced on Monday that Ernest Payne, the alleged shooter in a homicide this past September in Norwood, was arrested last week in Florida. Payne and his accomplice, Anthony Loper-Feaster, were identified by NPD detectives and state police members assigned to D.A. Morrissey's office within days of the murder. Loper-Feaster turned himself in the weeks following the murder. Payne has been on the run since the night of the shooting. The investigation leading to his arrest involved the U.S. Marshals, the Massachusetts State Police Violent Fugitive Apprehension Section, and State Police CPAC, as well as the NPD Bureau of Criminal Investigation. Chief Brooks has more.
I'm here to talk a little bit about the recent arrest of Ernest Payne, who was arrested in Florida following a lengthy investigation tied to a homicide that occurred right behind me here on Sturtevant Avenue. The gentleman murdered was Shaquem Lewis Johnson. He was murdered on September 19th, 2021 at about 5:15 in the evening. He was shot multiple times right here on the street by a subject who escaped in a car with a driver. Within a short period of time, detectives of the Norwood Police Department and state police working out of the office of District Attorney Michael Morrissey identified two suspects in the case and obtained warrants for their arrest. A gentleman named Mr. Loper-Feaster turned himself in shortly thereafter, but Ernest Payne was more elusive and more difficult for us to capture. We believe that he left the state within days of the homicide and moved about the country following that. Now, our investigation in an attempt to capture him involved detectives of the Norwood Police Department, particularly Lieutenant Chris Flanagan and Detective Paul Ryan. And they received administrative support and assistance from Jenna McCarthy, who is assigned to the Bureau of Criminal Investigation. They worked very closely with the Violent Fugitive Apprehension Section of the Massachusetts State Police and partnered with the U.S. Marshals Service because we believed that Mr. Payne has spent most of the last several months outside Massachusetts. He was recently arrested in Miami, again based on information that was obtained through an investigation by the three agencies I just talked about. U.S. Marshals went to a home in Miami, Florida, and captured him and placed him under arrest. As I report this today on Friday, Lieutenant Flanagan and two troopers from the state police from the Norfolk District Attorney's Office are at Miami Airport and are boarding a flight to bring Mr. Payne back to Massachusetts. On Monday morning, he'll be arraigned on the charge of murder and will eventually face trial for that charge. So this is an important point that in time now that we have both the suspects in custody. They are the only two that the investigation has identified. And we expect Mr. Payne to be arraigned Monday morning. I'm very pleased with the work of the members of the Norwood Police Department and really appreciate the partnership and hard work by our partners with the U.S. Marshals Service and the Massachusetts State Police, both at the District Attorney's Office and the Violent Fugitive Apprehension Section.